Hi, I'm Sean Smith. Today we're going to take a look at a 2021 Beneteau Oceanus 35.1 that was just listed here in San Diego. The boat is very clean, looks almost like a new boat. Join me for a quick walkthrough and tour of this boat. The Oceanus 35.1 is a beautiful design that looks very similar to the other boats in the range, like the Oceanus 38.1. You've got this nice large drop-down swim platform on the transom with a folding swim ladder on the starboard side. This has teak wood and the optional upgraded teak wood in the floor as well. It looks beautiful. Let's walk up to the bow real quick before we tour the interior. This boat was spec'd with the asymmetric spinnaker package from Beneteau. So it has the stainless bobstay up here with the spinnaker attachment point, and the boat was upgraded with a furling code 0. That's what you're gonna see out in front. And then it has a self-tacking jib on the headstay just inboard. So both are furling. The self-tacking jib goes to a self-tacking track right in front of the mast here. So one sheet pulls that out and it just tacks automatically back and forth. And then you can pull out the code 0 if you want to reach or run and get the boat really going full speed. Something I like to point out here is inside the boat there's indirect LED lighting. As you can see that LED strip right there, it looks really awesome even outside the boat. And then on the 35.1 and 38.1s, they have hard shine holes that come all the way up forward. So this hard crease looks really awesome, but it also gives you a lot of interior volume and also good sailing stability. The boat likes to lock in at a limited angle of heel, so it's real comfortable and very high performance as you get decreased wetted surface or drag on the weather side, so it makes for a fast boat. There's also a nice boot stripe here that tapers off and accents the hull design. On the tow rail, this looks like wood, but it's actually synthetic, so zero maintenance. Very, very nice. And then aft here on the transom, you can see that hard shine hull, and you can see one of the rudders in the water there. I'll get a little closer. The boat has twin rudders that are pretty far apart and canted, so when the boat heels over, that leeward rudder is going to be up and down, so that way you have an efficient hull design. You don't have to steer the rudder and induce drag to keep the boat going straight. That rudder is going to be going straight through the water, so you have essentially no weather helm and in a faster design with less drag and faster boat. The hard shine also gives us a lot of volume inside the boat there, and with the beam carried all the way aft, gives us a really wide cockpit with tons of space for the size boat. Stepping on, I mean, this feels like the cockpit of a 40-foot boat, even though it's only a 35. The port side is our primary helm station. This is where our throttle control is located, compass, a B&G chart plotter here, multifunction to touchscreen. You can also control the autopilot and the audio. You can control music as well as autopilot from the screen, but we also have a separate button for our autopilot on the boat. Just outboard is the bow thruster control. Super nice that this boat has a bow thruster. Again, another feature that you'd normally find on a 40-foot boat. Yanmar control just below. And then outboard is a swim shower. So super nice. You have a hot and cold swim shower, a manual bilge pump, and speakers for the stereo, which is currently on. Beautiful teak wood. And rudder post access, as well as a lazarette underneath the step, which these seats lift up really easy. Got a pocket for a winch handle on both sides. At the starboard helm, we have a tri-data display here, so you can see your wind, speed, depth, and it's a good depth screen. Our GPS location, autopilot will show here. And then I like this screen that we show your boat speed, true wind direction, true wind. You can control that too if you want to see the true and apparent. But since we're stopped, we have the T for true wind right above the larger triangle, which is apparent wind. As you're moving, those will separate and you can always see where the wind is relative to the shape of the boat. Harken winch right here. So if you, for your Code Zero, or if you decide to add a Genoa to this boat, they both go to this primary winch. The boat has air conditioning, so we have an air conditioning shore power cord and then the house shore power cord for battery chargers, outlets, etc. And your Code Zero has a furling line back here, so you can operate it single-handed from the helm back in the cockpit. Don't need to go forward to release or use that Code Zero asymmetric spinnaker. The bimini here is super nice, a slate umbrella with a LED pocket sewn in. There's a dimmer right here. In this dimmer, as I press the button down, you can dim the lights down, turn them off, or bring them all the way up to full brightness, which is super nice. You know, if you're out here at night, if that light's a little too bright, really nice to be able to dim it down. And you also have some LEDs inside this main sheet arch, which is from Beneteau, from the factory. The boat has an in-mast furling main, which is super easy to use. It comes to these cabin top winches, the port side being electric, so you can furl in and out your mainsail with the push of a button. You can also trim it, the main sheet here, with the electric winch, which is currently the breaker is off for. But it's 2 speeds, so you have a high and low speed for the electric winch. We had custom Sunbrella cushions made for this boat here in San Diego, Memo's custom canvas. So the seat bottoms are a separate piece. The seat backs are rolled over the top, so they just snap into place. But a really nice and comfortable cushion comes up, rolled up over the top of the coaming. I have this unbuttoned so we can easily look into the lazarette here. This is the 2-cabin 1-head version of the boat, which has an enormous locker here. You've got your placards for the Coast Guard, and then all of the Coast Guard required equipment with a lot of extra life vests. So you have kids vests, adult vests, some extra bedding, throwables, the Coast Guard documented number placard, organized, ready to go. It's got everything you need to be safe and use the boat right away this summer. These covers here cover up the cockpit table and the helms, so real easy to put this boat away. You can just put the cockpit cushions down inside the boat or down in this lazarette. That's where we store them. And then you can put the covers on, walk away from the boat in 5 or 10 minutes. The companionway has French doors and a cover here, so when you close the companionway, this is all covered up. That's nice when you leave the boat, but also at night, if you're inside the boat, you can drop that cover over and it protects anybody from being able to look into the companionway. 4 steps here bring you into the interior. I love the interior of this boat with the light oak wood, the accents in this light color with the darker upholstery. It looks beautiful and matches the gray countertop very well. The boat is the 2-cabin version, so you have a really large berth back here. It goes underneath the cockpit, has a couple of opening ports, big hanging locker, and then also access to your house engine batteries, the electric winch and windlass breakers, as well as your air conditioning control. But it has a really nice air conditioning system with a control in that aft cabin as well as here in the salon. At the nav station here, which you have a nav table that folds up, so you can turn this into an additional berth if you want an additional berth. So that way you would have 2 sleeping forward, 2 aft. You can have another person here, and a smaller, or like a child could sleep here as well. But this nav station folds up, good storage, all of the service records and documentation for the boat stored there. Some more storage, VHF radio, Fusion stereo, and then your AC/DC panel is here, which is awesome. You just have simple alternating current here, your AC plugs, battery charger, water heater, and then on the DC side you have your lights, you have your auto bilge, water pump, an auxiliary to add to this in the future, a refrigerator, navigation electronics, the deck floodlight, anchoring light, and then your motor lights here. So if you're motoring, you flip your nav lights this direction. If you're just sailing, you flip it this direction at night. Really easy to use. And then also your battery, tankage, fuel is monitored here. So I can just scroll through. We have actually a full tank of water, fuel, a full tank of fuel as well. Battery voltage at 13.4, and only 1 amp being drawn with all the lights on. Very low draw with electronics and LED lighting in this boat. You can see that LED lighting, beautiful inside. Then you also have LED overhead. This salon table opens up to form a really nice large dining table. There's also storage inside, kind of a liquor cabinet. And then underneath the forward section, there's more bottle storage. Up on the forward bulkhead, you have 2 double doors that swing open. Really nice for opening up and making the boat feel more lofty, but you can also close them for privacy. There's a large drawer underneath this forward berth for lots of storage, and then overhead hatches that have a blackout or a screen. And that's also an escape hatch, so it's large enough to climb out of. There's 2 overhead hatches, large windows. You wake up in Catalina, you look out over the water, and of course blackout shades for privacy all around. Closing this forward door gives you access to the lockers. Nice hanging locker on the port side. And also on the starboard side, you have some shelving. So plenty of storage up here in this master cabin. Let's go check out the head. You have an electric Jabsco head, which is separate from our aft shower. Inside this forward cabin, you can forward head, you can also shower. There's a mirror here when you close the door, and then also electric Jabsco control with either fresh or saltwater flush. So this was a custom modification. Only fresh water has been flushed so far, but you can also conserve by using the saltwater flush. In the aft separate shower, which is an option from Beneteau, you have this additional shower head here, which lifts out, and then you can hang it up top for a nice large shower compartment with plenty of headroom. It's a really large shower stall. In the galley, we have a 2-burner gimbaled stove and oven. We've got some storage aft and underneath. Look at that, just tons of room. There is a refrigerator with a freezer on top. Put some ice cream or meat, fruit, whatever you want, frozen up top, and then the rest is all refrigeration. A large stainless steel sink, and then a really cool cutlery drawer here, which is a soft close drawer. This, I think, is a brilliant location. You quickly set the table, good location, and then a self-opening trash bin underneath with good storage for cleaning supplies. Lots of storage up here. You got 3 cabinets forward of the microwave, and also a plug down below. You can plug in a coffee maker. And actually, some people are using the quick ice makers right here too. So you can just plug it in and makes ice in around 7 minutes. The last thing we want to look at is the Yanmar diesel engine. So underneath the staircase here is our Yanmar diesel engine with a sail drive. Super clean engine room. This thing looks brand new. The air conditioning intake is right forward of the engine, which we have labeled. So you got a little filter here in the pump. Oil filter and oil and filter were changed June 9th, 50 hours. So the boat only has 50 hours on it right now, and that was just a couple days ago. So very much like new. Thank you for joining me on this tour of the 2021 Oceanis 35.1 that's available right now in San Diego. Reach out right away if you have any questions about this boat or if you want to get on board yourself. I look forward to talking to you soon.